There is still stagnant water.
Oh, Lou, be careful.
Oh, look! They put concrete around it.
Oh, isn't that cute? They put concrete around the little stagnant area. Is it wet?
Oh,
Trying
yeah,
to-
there's water this deep.
That
Trying
deep.
to plug up the.
They're just trying to stop it from spreading.
Yep. I better get off the pipe. Don't fill me with the pipe.
Oh shoot, I got you on the pipe.
Oh, well, now doing.
Okay.
Oh, it doesn't matter if we're gonna use that for the push.
Yeah, right. Their guy can straddle it and beat on it. Down there.
Uh-huh. So what is,
We haven't had rain for months and months.
there's been no rain at all. You've got standing water in the ditch. This is on Carol's property,
The so-called pipe ditch.
the so-called piped ditch.
Yeah, and my
Let's look at the
concern
other
is
side. The other side of the pipe.
maybe the temperature won't let it to.
And we've got
Get
standing
higher.
water. And actually, if you look along this pipeline, what you're going to see is down in the ditch here, lots of nice green vegetation right along the pipe where the pipe is leaking. And that's true actually on both sides of the pipe. You can see it on both sides of the
Well,
pipe.
look at this nice little.
I never thought of that either.
Yep. All right. Can I get a
Okay,
lift
I'll give you
up?
a hand back
I
up.
have a nice spray.
Ooh,
I'll give you a hand up as I
right,
slip.
I was going to say.
Here. I'm sorry.
No
Yeah, she
worries.
really just needs balance. She doesn't need anyone to pull. Just
Yeah,
balance.
thanks.
Sorry about that.
No worries. Yeah, and this thing did not look like that when we were here. This shows how much water.
How big it's gotten.
Yeah. Oh my God, what the hell? That didn't look, this didn't look like that when we were here last, did it?
What?
They've done more. Haven't they?
I don't think so. I think this was their last thing. But I'm not sure because I didn't remember this plastic being out here when we were here in May.
I remember the plastic, but I don't remember this.
Oh yeah, this has been here since day one that they cut those two pipes down. I can show you the ditch that we had dug that still has this much water running in it too.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tony said to be sure to show you guys that
Yep.
because it's the downpipe down halfway in. Oh, and
Yeah.
see, look, you can see that that pipe is warped. Somebody's been pulling on it or. Yeah, that's the one I thought was in my camera.
All wet.
And it's lifting. I'm sorry. I think there are spots where it's higher because the silt has, settled.
Right. Oh, good Lord.
Yeah. See, there were 3 spots that you could hear that running when I was up there the other day.
Can we get on that sticker?
Oh.
No. Can you see what it reads?
It says N12 Street and N12 WT pipe joint assembly, and it basically gives directions on how to assemble it.
Oh, hold my hand.
Obviously, they haven't done a very good job of following directions.
Is it in English?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I need to get to.
Are proposing in the Forbstown ditch, correct?
My understanding, based on the presentation at the meeting by North Star, is that this is pretty much exactly what they are proposing for the upper Forbstown ditch,
They would just be putting the larger pipe right into the bottom of the ditch
but on concrete blocks in areas.
in certain areas.
Yes, and then the lower portion of the ditch, they're going to bury it, is what was given to us at the meeting. And we can, of course, go back to the video and verify that that is
A foot of
what was
soil.
stated.
I would be curious to
Only
know.
a foot?
That's what he said.
1 to 2 feet. And the big question in my mind is that actually deep enough if a fire comes through to protect that pipe?
Probably.
So,
But obviously, the stuff up above is not protected.
Right.
no, all the above ground stuff is
All it
just going
takes
to
is one
burn
burning
up.
tree to fall over and it'll
And the
melt.
one question I really wanted to ask and didn't get to ask is, how many cutoff valves are there? Is there just one at the start? Because you would want a series of valves.
Or she might just
Right.
be easier for her to walk up.
Yeah.
You would want a series of valves to be able to, if a fire is coming through, to turn off the water past a certain point rather than having to turn the whole thing off.
But then you don't have the water then to fight the fire.
True.
That's
But
why
they're
an
not
open
gonna have the
ditch-
water to
that's
fight the
why an
fire.
Open ditch is the best solution. I'm sorry.
It is the best solution because once a fire comes through and melts the pipe, the water's going,
Contaminated and
it's,
the pipe.
well, it's just going everywhere.
There's stagnant water here. Standing.
You can hear it. And that joint is the worst. It's so kittywampus, it's not even funny.
There's no way you have a straight seal.
No, oh, and there is no, that is not a straight seal.
You know what it is? This is cattywampus too, because this pipe doesn't allow to bend.
Right.
Right, you're supposed to buy a joint and put a joint everywhere it bends.
That, like they have a joint down there.
Yes.
That's a bendy
Yes.
joint. Yeah, you can really hear that water. Yeah, it's definitely running. So your neighbor actually did this where he,
Because he lives up above, and I think that he is the one that is charged with maintaining this road
so
for his access up
he wanted to reroute this water that was running down here because the road was becoming undrivable many times of the
there.
year.
Yes.
Got it. And now we can see the water dripping out. Yep, there we go. Oh, and I notice his line is nice and straight on his.
Now this is the ditch that our friend Aaron, that owns the property up here, dug for Tony to give him peace of mind.
Right.
To divert the water before it came up on our landing was the idea, so that Tony could still use his carport up there.
Okay.
So Aaron owns this big huge backhoe.
Remember over here we went last time?
Yeah.
Watch the oak tree.
Yeah, I'm good with the oak tree. It's a poison
this
oak.
is poison oak here.
Oh, bad, bad, bad.
So just don't touch it. Only on that side.
But
I don't
still-
catch it either.
I don't mess around with it.
Right? Yeah, I don't catch it either, but I don't
Don't take the chance.
purposely run into it. Yeah. Okay. And this, believe it or not, is not from me. This is from the animals. The deer know that this water is here.
Oh, wow.
See, so
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to do that over again. I didn't have the video fucking on.
okay.
Oh, I didn't say that.
Oh,
Okay. All right, so this is the ditch. Carol, give us.
that Tony and I had a friend of ours dig to help divert the water from coming up basically in front of our carport and in front of our sheds, so that hopefully Tony would still have access with his boat and his truck to get into the carport. We thought if we could just divert the water before it came up over there and get it to go somewhere else, at least that part of the property would stay dry. And to some degree, it did lessen the amount of water that was in front of the carport, but it never completely stopped it.
And again, this water runs in this ditch when?
As long as that ditch is on, there's water in this ditch.
And by that ditch, you're talking about the
That
irrigation.
North Yuba irrigation ditch.
Okay.
And you said you can actually see it seeping out of the walls of this little ditch.
You can, when it's under 80 degrees, before
Okay.
the temperature reaches 80 or 90 degrees consistently, you can see the water coming out and from the side of the hill and going into this ditch.
Okay.
Then once the since the weather warms up, you don't actually see it coming out into the ditch, but the water never stops running. As long as the irrigation ditch is on, there's water in this ditch.
And you've never been able, from where you said this ditch connects with the ditch on the other property, you've seen the water come through the soil, but have you seen any surface water?
No.
But you haven't been able to get up there either, have you?
Not really,
'Cause
because
it's
the
all-
vegetation is so thick.
Right.
And, yeah.
All right.
Okay, my battery's almost.
Okay.
Okay.